Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
the Mar and Ivan Show, episode number 15.
Yes, and we're excited to bring you guys another episode. New episodes every Thursday. And today we wanted to recap the first two rules that we covered in the previous podcast for Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And today we're going over rule number 3. So just to recap, rule 1 was stand up straight with your shoulders back. Rule 2 was treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping.
And rule 3 is make friends with people who want the best for you.
Yeah, I think that's super important, right? Make friends. It's kind of common sense, but I'm not sure it's common practice, right? Seriously.
Aren't most things are common sense where you're like, well, duh. But do we follow through with them?
Yeah. What good is having all that knowledge if we're not applying any of it, right? I remember we had talked about in one of our episodes talking about not just reading a bunch of books, but actually trying to apply the knowledge that you're getting from the few books that you do read.
Yeah.
I think that's more important.
I find myself reading books slower and really taking my time, but honestly understanding the book a lot more. So I really
living
like that.
out the ideas or the rules or the concepts. So yeah, make friends with people who want the best for you.
Yeah.
So I'll share my ideas as well, but what were some of the ideas that you took away from this rule?
Many, but one.
Many, dramatic. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. That's literally me.
Yeah.
But one of the main ones that I took away from this chapter was at times we are helping people and we think we're just really doing it out of good nature, when in reality, it's just out of our selfish needs. You're helping someone so you can say like, hey, I helped that person. Hey, I fed that homeless person. Hey, I donated X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But one, at times people, or, I put this person, I don't know, I gave them self-help books. One, they might not want the help. 2, they might not want to change. And 3, oh man, I forgot what my third point was.
That's okay. I mean...
3, you should be helping yourself first. Be responsible for yourself first. So don't be distracted with helping others when you're neglecting yourself and you're making excuses like, oh, it's because I'm so busy helping everybody.
Yeah.
When it's like, hey, why don't you first help yourself, honestly?
Well, especially too if those people seem to not want to be helped, right? He mentioned in the book, he mentioned a psychologist. I forgot his name.
Oh, Carl. I think Carl something.
It's not Carl Jung. It's a different guy.
No, I know.
But he basically says that it's impossible to help someone who does not want to help themselves. And Jordan B. Peterson even talks about...
Carl Rogers,
there you go. And he even talks about how in his own psychology or, psychological therapy, that sometimes he has to help people because it's court-ordered, right? And those people, it's tragic because they never take anything away from it.
That's a bummer.
So, yeah, I do think it brings up the idea of, like, are we doing too much sometimes to try to kind of maintain a relationship that is not good for us, that is not helping us, or it's not a friendship that they really support us or want us to do well.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be kind of like a dead end where you're trying to help this person, give them advice, even sometimes unsolicited advice where they don't really care to hear what you have to say, but you're trying to be that good friend to help them. And then it kind of ties into, am I doing that just because by doing that, I can distract myself from the work that I need to do on myself?
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that was interesting too in his book, he spoke about people seeking friendships where they're also in this kind of misery mindset or victim mindset. And he was saying like, that's just like who they seek out because first of all, that's how that person sees themselves. Yeah. And they want to seek out other people that aren't really helping themselves either, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like you stay in this lull. And I've seen people around me where I'm like, you're still hanging out with those peeps, like, you haven't really outgrown them. it's a bit sad, but also like that's just maybe what they're comfortable with. And not everybody has the ambition or the willingness
or personality
to succeed or want to succeed or want to better their lives.
Whatever succeed means, right?
Right. It's different for each person, but some people are okay like that. And I think for me, I'm always trying to like pull people out of like being sad or out of tough situations where I'm like, sometimes you just have to be like, hey, you know what? I've given you the resources.
Yeah, well, he talks about the idea of the path of least resistance. And for a lot of people, it's more comfortable and easy for them to continue those sort of relationships, friendships, and they want to live in that world. So we have to be able to make that judgment and, take it on a case per case basis, but really think to ourselves, is this a friendship where I'm trying to force it a little bit, right? Trying to lift someone up when they just don't want it. They'd rather hang out with those friends who maybe don't want the best for them, but they all kind of hang out and linger maybe in their victimhood or whatever it is, their vibration.
Listen to this real quickly. It says, you're associating with people who are bad for you. Not because it's better for anyone, but because it's easier. You know it. Your friends know it. And then it says you are like all bound to an implicit contract of failure, sufferment. And then it also says, let's take the easier path. Let's indulge in whatever the moment might bring. Let's agree further not to call each other out on it. That way we can more easily forget what we are doing. You don't mention that, but you all know what's really going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like hanging out with those friends that are always out drinking, are kind of time wasting. They're not really working on anything.
Wonder where the weekend goes.
Yeah, when you ask them like, "Hey, what's new with you?" or "What's good with you?" Work. It's got to be more than work, right? But
then again, with what Jordan B. Peterson says, some people are okay.
Some people are okay. But then it's up to us to then decide, hey, you know what, that vibe or that group of people, that tribe, those friendships, they might not be for me. Right? But I had something else I had thought of, but it's slipping my mind right now.
I'm sure it'll come back to us.
Yeah, we had a couple notes that we took. Do you want to reference the notes real quick?
Yeah. Here you go. It's in your writing.
So let's see. So yeah, it's a good question. Do your friends want the best for you? Right? Even with the podcast right now, we mentioned it, but do our friends support us? And the close friends I can think of, yes. And I'm sure there's people who don't really support us, or
some people act like they do. Some people act like
they do.
Hey girl, I'm happy for you. You know what, Jude, in your tone and your delivery, I already know that's not true.
You can tell. Yeah, so that's something.
Everyone knows a person. Hey, I see what you're doing. I'm really stoked for you.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I see it in your eyes.
Yeah, and it's not about us, just about us. It's about you guys too. Whatever you're working on, whatever your passion is. Maybe you like cars and you like to make videos about that. Maybe you want to do makeup tutorials, whatever it is. Do your friends really support you, or they tell you like, oh, why are you wasting your time with that? Or are they kind of negative? Or they say like, nah, forget that. Let's just go drinking.
Yeah, that's really good when he says this here.
They will become jealous when you succeed or do something pristine. They will withdraw their presence or support or actively punish you for it. They will override your accomplishment with a past action, real or imaginary, of their own.
Yeah, and then it goes off to even other things that are really good, but...
Yeah, and it says, but mostly they are dragging you down because your new improvements cast their faults in an even dimmer light. Right? So sometimes when you start to shine and do your own thing, that's going to cast shadows on people and kind of what they're working on and what they're doing. So that can definitely be tough, but something we have to ask ourselves is, do our friends support us? And who are our friends really? If they're not supporting us, are they even our friends, or are they just an acquaintance?
I would say closely analyze your friends' reactions and their support when your life is going well. When your life is really, when you say, dude, I'm so genuinely happy. Oh, this worked out for me. Carefully analyze all of your friends' responses. And I do that to a fault, but I'm always analyzing every single situation, and it's amazing.
It's important.
It's a bit sad seeing some people's true
lack of enthusiasm for your
I guess, but just
success.
Like, you know what, dude, I thought you were cool, but you're actually whack. And that's why I disassociated with you.
Another one of the things that he talked about in the book was loyalty is not stupidity. Right? So sometimes we're friends with people because we've been friends forever.
Oh, that was so
We've
good.
been friends for such a long time. But when
here.
you really break it down, is the friendship still serving both of you?
Yeah, it says, if you have a friend whose friendship you wouldn't recommend to your sister, your father, or your son, why would you have such a friend yourself? Oh, sorry, one of our phones.
Someone's calling us.
Sorry,
Either
guys.
way.
It threw me off a little bit. But then it says...
Just continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Our phones are ringing, so that's why it's a little bit distracting. But yeah, I thought that was a good point. You know, just because you've been friends with someone for a long time doesn't mean you have to continue being friends and force a relationship and try to salvage something that used to be. You know, people are like seasons, and we hear it all the time. There's a time and place for everything. I'm not friends with my elementary or middle school like best friends, all of them at least. You know, I'll still stay in touch here and then with some of them, but it's not something that's being forced.
Yeah, I found myself in those situations where I'm like, well, you know, I've been friends with them forever, or like, you know, that's just how they are. Or I'm like, okay, at that point, is that just stupidity? Are you gaining anything positive from that friendship? Or, you know, are you calling it loyalty, but you're just too like you're not courageous enough to walk away from it?
Yeah. And that doesn't mean like be a jerk and cut everyone off and ignore them and block them and delete them from social media or anything like that, right? As long as you maintain an open communication line, like, hey, I'm here if you ever need anything. You're available if they need you. And this could be family members too. This could be anyone who maybe you're not really resonating with at this time. Because of a number of reasons. But as long as you maintain that open communication, but you're not forcing it, I think that's a good start.
That's really good.
What would you consider a good friend?
Ooh,
that's pretty interesting.
Why don't you answer that question first?
For me, a good friend is inspiring.
Oh, I love that.
A good friend is someone who I can admire. I can admire their qualities, their character. They're doing something.
Yeah.
You know, ideally when I ask this friend, hey, you know, what's going on with you? What's new? It's not a long drama of their difficulties.
Ivan hates drama.
I don't like drama.
Hates drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not this long like drama and petty party or pity party. Petty and pity, this is so similar.
I was thinking, are you being petty?
No, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's someone who is inspiring and they're like, yeah, man, I'm working on this. I just started this new project. Work is going well. It's a little bit more than just work. It's not the person that says, oh, you know, work, same old. Like, to me, I need a little bit more than that because why? When I'm talking to them, I'm providing a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So it's like this climbing of the ladder or just elevation in life together. So it's admiration, it's inspiration. It is also loyalty as well.
I was just thinking
but that doesn't mean stupidity like what it says in the book. I
would say, loyalty is a big thing for me. And I would expect my friends, if my name comes up in conversation in places, you know, in situations where I'm not there, I would expect them to speak the same way as if I were sitting next to them.
Yeah, that's trust.
Yeah, where I'm like, hey, if my name comes up in conversation, if I were sitting in that room or I were right next to you, would you be speaking the same way?
Yeah.
I would expect my friends to be respectful and, inspiring is a big thing. Like, I want an equal exchange with friendship where I learn from you, you learn from me, and it's like the synergy.
Yeah.
What else would you consider good traits in a friend?
Someone who is unselfish and is able to meet you halfway.
Halfway.
Yeah. Someone who shares their ideas and is not sneaky
honest,
or like covert about things that they're doing or you know, when you ask someone, it's like, hey, where did you buy that? And they don't want to tell you, and they don't want to tell you where they bought that. whether it's clothing or something they got on discount or whatever.
That's when people see you as competition.
Yeah, it's like, hey, bro, just share some ideas. Unless we're not friends.
What's up with that?
So kind of being an open book to each other, I think, those are good qualities of friends.
Yeah.
So here's another question. How do we make friends during a quarantine? Right? Because people are not going out. They're not being as physically social.
Hey, you can still FaceTime. You can text.
But you can text and FaceTime the people you already know, right? You're not going to be FaceTiming strangers. So how do you connect with new friends? New good friends in this social media era?
You can go on socially distanced hikes.
You could? No, I mean, I'm going to say just posting content, right?
Oh, try to relate to people.
You attract the new friendships, right? When you
just
post,
like you attract a new lover.
Yeah, a new lover, a new relationship, whatever it is. You post content, you share who you are unapologetically, genuinely, authentically who you are, not trying to be cool, not trying to do anything that's trendy or culturally appealing. Yeah. It's all just, who are you? If you like Pokemon, post about Pokemon. There's going to be someone you went to high school with who's like, dude, I love Raichu, or I love that Pokemon.
I love those little connections, the ones that you wouldn't expect either.
Yeah, like World of Warcraft.
We're like, dude, I didn't know you went to that burrito place too. I love those burritos.
Yeah, even going to like a taco stand, just like post your experiences, share your life. I remember watching a video from Gary Vee that really stood out to me. He says, don't create content, document. Document.
Hey, should I turn this on or no? Just leave it.
You turned it off?
Oh, no, because when someone calls.
Oh, no, just leave it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought you turned off the camera. I was like,
no.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure.
So yeah, don't focus so much on creating, but, just document who you are, document your life, and people will gravitate and say, hey, I'm kind of vibing with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And we've made new friends just from starting the podcast, and people have reached out and shown support, and we've been able to connect with people like that. So I do think that is a way that we can do it during these times.
Yeah, that's really good.
Post content, post who you are. You started your vlogs.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, so far it's vlog number 2, and I still have so much to learn, but you know what, guys? That's part of the process. I'm doing my best to improve it every week. So vlog number 3 coming soon.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And
what are the other questions you have? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and anyone else who wants to start a vlog now, they can say, hey, Mar, I'm thinking about starting a vlog too. What are some pointers? Even though you just started, or you can reach out to someone who's already doing it as well.
For sure.
Let's see. Would you say you have a lot of friends?
No.
I don't either. I have a lot of acquaintances.
That's what I said earlier. We had so many acquaintances, and people, I would be like, oh, I know him. Are they my friend? No.
Yeah, I think that's okay too, because how many relationships and friendships can you actually have?
One time my dad said, you know what, Marlene? He said it in Spanish. He's like, when you're older, you will only be able, or he's like, you won't be able to count the amount of friends that you have on your hand.
Yeah.
I can assure you that true friendships, you won't be able to do it.
Friendships.
And I remember thinking at the time I was perhaps in middle school or something, and I was like, okay, like I just thought that was
a middle schooler.
Yeah, I thought that, and my dad's always spoken to me that way. He's always taught me a lot of things, but I thought that's so ridiculous. What do you mean you won't even have 5 friends? Like what the hell? And then as I got older, I'm so much more selective. I'm so selective with who I decide to even gift my time to, who I decide to share true ideas with, and it's so few people. Yeah. I don't know if that's sad or I don't know if that's good, honestly.
I think it's realistic.
I have very, very, very few friends, and I'm very selective.
That's very realistic, because let's say you had an emergency.
Dude,
there was a serious emergency, or we're going to war or whatever. How many people can you really count on to be there and to be of good character, good values, good morals and ethics, who will be there ready for whatever is needed?
You know what I was thinking about when people are like, yo, that's my friend, or like, love you. Girl, no, you don't.
Yeah.
And also, friend. No. I mean, honestly speaking, though, we use these terms so loosely. And if you really think about it, are they genuinely your friend?
Yeah. And if they are, then, it's like,
have they wronged you before?
Maybe. Yeah, it depends. But, yeah, I mean, those are some of the ideas we kind of paraphrased and put our own spin on it. If you guys are interested, definitely read the rule read the chapter for yourself.
Yeah.
And then tell us what you guys think. Comment down below.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts.
Do you want to give a shout out to one of your friends? A true friend?
I'll give a shout out to my friend Kayvon, who just moved from the Bay Area back to San Diego. Yeah. He just bought like a ranch out there.
Where does he live?
It's pretty sick. I don't know the name of the city.
It's like Bonsai. I'm just making things up.
It's close to like Escondido.
Bonza.
But I'll give a shout out to him because he is one of those friends who I admire and does inspire me, and we can connect and have these conversations. So I am very grateful for that.
I love the horse videos. Horse videos.
What about for yourself?
Ooh, a friend I would love to shout out this week would be my friend Elise.
Okay.
I'm always speaking to her on the phone, and she teaches me so much about the Bible. She brings so much value.
Yeah.
And she really listens, and I know when I speak to her, it's like speaking to a safe.
Yeah. It's that trust.
Yeah.
Right?
She's a great person.
That's cool. And I mean,
shout out to her for starting her candle company. I wish I had the candle with me, but it's called As Big as the World, and it's awesome.
Yeah, we'll make sure to get some B-roll footage and put it on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, and kind of wrapping up the podcast here, what is the point of the podcast? Right? We talked about it earlier. Maybe some of you, haven't watched that many episodes, or we're new to this YouTube thing, so we're really trying to figure out how to do all this. But yeah. I would say a big part of it is just creating a community, creating conversations, sharing perspective. Oftentimes you see these YouTubers and they're like these millionaire gurus and they have something to teach and they're selling a product or whatever. So we thought it'd be cool to share some ideas from, regular people, kids. I think of ourselves as kids.
I'm still
but
14.
people, yeah, you better be 18 at least.
12.
People just sharing their lives and sharing where they're at. And I feel like a lot of us have more in common with each other than we do with that millionaire person trying to sell products online. So we want to make a community where we document what we're doing, what we're working on, and our life experience. And you guys can comment, you guys can share, you guys can, talk to us, let us know what inspires you, what you're working on. So. And
honestly, this week, reflect on who your friends are. Yeah. Reflect of who's of value around you. Reflect who really genuinely has your best interests at heart. And
who you're being a good friend to. We got to grade ourselves on how good of a friend we're being.
Honestly, A+. No, I'm just kidding. I try my best.
Yeah.
I'm a straight A student.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to send them off with?
No, I think I just said it right now. Reflect on who your friends are. Reflect on how you are as a friend. And be the best person you can be. Always take responsibility for yourself. And that is it from me.
That's it. All right, guys. Every Thursday, we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Peace.